The prevention and control of diseases and disorders. Before learning the ways of avoiding these diseases, we must first know that communicable diseases are ones that are contagious and spreadable and has many different ways of passing them. These are the direct contact diseases, the skin-to-skin and skin-to-mucosa transmissions. These can be transmitted by touching, kissing, or by sexual intercourse. Next, the indirect contact diseases. The droplet infection on which relies on the droplets in the air as we speak and breathe. The vehicle-borne on which relies on water, raw vegetables, fruits, blood, and many more. And the vector-borne that is transmitted by living organisms to humans, whether it be between us or by animals and bugs. Now knowing how they are being transmitted, we must know and address the common communicable diseases that are often encountered by us in our daily life. Acute respiratory infections, pneumonia, bronchitis, influenza, tuberculosis, dengue, and STDs and STIs. And the ways to prevent these are handling and preparing food safely, by practicing good hygiene, by washing hands and at a frequent rate, staying up to date on immunizations, by practicing being cautious, by cleaning and disinfecting commonly used objects and surfaces, by restricting these diseases being spread, coughing and sneezing in our sleeves, not letting others touch or use personal and often used items, etc. Getting vaccinated and avoiding contact to wild animals, completely or directly. And lastly, I think the most important, remembering that prevention is better than getting a cure.
The emerging and emerging infectious diseases. In centuries, we are facing diseases that are always breaking our system in natural order. Whether it be those or not, now diving into our topic. Emerging infectious diseases are these diseases whose incidence in us, humans, diseases increased in the past 2 decades or threaten to increase in the near future. These diseases are not being restricted and restrained by national boundaries and can challenge effort to protect workers as prevention and control recommendation may not be immediately available. Now, re-emerging diseases in those diseases that appeared and in some cases have disappeared before only to come back in the present. Example, the leptospirosis, the blood infection that is caused by the bacteria Leptospira. Signs and symptoms can range from none to mild, consisting of headaches, muscle pains, and fever to severe that consists of bleeding in the lungs and meninges. The severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS, an airborne virus and can spread through small droplets of saliva in a similar way to the cold and influenza. The chikungunya, the virus that is being transmitted by blood to blood, only by mosquito to humans. Although not fatal, the chickpea infection caused fever and severe joint pain. Other symptoms include muscle pain, joint swelling, headache, nausea, fatigue, and rash.
We can normally avoid diseases by handling and preparing food safely, by practicing good hygiene, by washing of hands at a frequent rate, staying up to date on immunizations, by practicing being cautious, by cleaning and disinfecting commonly used objects and surfaces, by restricting these diseases being spread through coughing and sneezing into ourselves. getting vaccinated and avoiding contact with wild animals. And lastly, but I think the most important, remembering that prevention is better than getting a cure. But for one to prevent the spread of infectious and communicable diseases, we must avoid sharing personal items, staying away from public places when ill, and limit exposure or totally cutting direct contact with individuals carrying infectious, contagious, and communicable diseases. We can also follow tips for our personal care, and the tips are washing your hands often, getting vaccinated, use antibiotics sensibly, staying isolated at home if you have signs and symptoms of an infection, clean and clean and disinfect the hot zones in your residence, practicing safer sex, don't share personal items. We can we can further develop our personal life skills by being aware about the methods of infections. And there are three types of transmission-based precautions: contact, droplet, and airborne. Contact precautions are usually standard precautions when caring for patients with known or suspected diseases that are spread by direct or indirect contact.